right, all right. It is not deja vu. I see you, Dan, the man and tech troublemaker in the house. What's up, y'all? Look, I'm Tanya Smith, and this is the goodness, I was going to say the Let's Go Live challenge because I've been saying that all week. It's the Stream Like a Boss TV show. And I'm Tanya Smith with Get Noticed with Video, and Stream Like a Boss is my weekly show. I love to go live each and every week at this time to talk about live stream video strategies that can help you as a service provider to embrace your face, serve more people, stand out online, and sell more of your services. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm your host, again, video coach Tanya Smith, and I want to get to know some of you in the audience. I already see some awesome comments coming through here. Wonderful, Miss Nadia and Scott. I'm going to switch over so I can make sure I get you on film there. I'm going to also ask you to do this. If you're new to the show, I want you to type in hashtag newbie. And if you've been here before, I want you to type in hashtag OG. We've got a lot of OGs that typically come and show up for us every Thursday. Either way, I want you to know I appreciate you being here. Now, tonight we have a special guest. So I'm going to stop all my jibber jabber in just a second and make sure that we head on over to meet our guest. Wonderful to see you, Miss Nubia. Newbie Nadia. Let me say that 3 times. Scott, I see you are an OG. Yes, it's wonderful to have all of you here. Look, my guest, I'm going to give you a little bit from his official bio, but I also want you to get to know him as a real person. So I'm going to share a couple of thoughts about when I was first introduced to DJ Strick that we have in the house. I cannot wait for you to meet him. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch on over to our quick promo video. And then right after that, you'll see someone sitting next to me in the scene, and that is DJ Strick. We'll talk to him and get a chance to meet him and learn all about what he's up to in the world of live streaming. I'll see you in just a second. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink of water or whatever your favorite relaxation drink and technique might be tonight. Okay, see you shortly. All righty, folks. We have DJ Strick in the house, and I cannot wait for you to meet him. What's up, DJ Strick?
How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm fantastic now that I get to be here with you after all my 500 email reminders.
I know it. I did not forget. I'm here with you today. I'm so excited about it. Guess what? Thank you so very much for the invitation to be on your show. I think this is really cool.
I think it's really cool too. And one of the things I absolutely have to do is to pull up a few of these comments as people are saying hello and what's up, DJ Strick 9. Strick 9.
I
That's
think Strick
Dan.
Nine, that's somebody that's probably been like in the army or armed forces or something. I think that's a weapon or something like that.
Ah, ah, ah,
So
ah.
Strick Nine is it's a chemical or something like
It's
that.
a chemical? Okay,
I
I
think so. I
got you.
think so.
Look,
Strick
Dan
Nine.
is always coming with the jokes, so trust. So here's Robin. What's up? Good evening, Robin. It's wonderful to see you. I want to say hello to everyone. Jay, thank you for the hashtag OG. I'm glad to see you all here. Look, we definitely want to welcome DJ Strick. Before I get started in the question line, I want to make sure that I introduce you properly. And so I'm going to share some of the things. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight a few of the things that he's up to, which is a lot. But then I want him to also tell us what's not in the bio. What's not in the
Which is a
bio.
lot. Which is a
Okay.
lot.
All right. So, over 20 years of experience in media production and community based leadership. His true name, his given name is Stephen Strickland, but known as Strick. 13 years, he
Exactly.
was host of the widely popular 95.7 Gospel Jams FM, which is a weekly program that aired on radio in Birmingham, Alabama. Let's see. He established a following there that he now reaches virtually. Because where are you now, Strick?
I'm still in Birmingham.
Okay, awesome. And the assistant pastor and media director for New Rising Star Church. Also, the host of Strick City Live, a 1 hour weekly lifestyle show on Thursday nights. Did I mess you up on your Thursday?
No, 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 no. I'll tell you more about that as we talk about some of the shows. I'm doing so many streams right now. I had to kind of cut back on that one.
So let's talk about that now, because I know there's a lot of other stuff too that I see in here. Tell me a little bit about where you're streaming now. I know your hands are in a lot of places, a lot of things. So what's going on? What are you up to?
Well, because of all of the radio experience, now being in front of the camera right here in my basement, it's just easy to do. So there wasn't a lot of learning that I had to do as far as being on air talent. So I wanted to kind of monetize the opportunities that I had to kind of be on. So me monetizing, my gifts and talents of being able to present was actually selling that to other brands. So on Sunday nights, I do a show called The Stream Show on Ecamm Live's YouTube channel. So you can catch me there 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I talk all things streaming based off of using that software Ecamm Live. So I am a Ecammer, so shouts out to all the Ecamm fam out there. And I just help people use the software and more importantly, learn more about how to be great streamers because the idea of the show is to help streamers succeed. That's the basis of it. And then on Monday nights, I do a show called The Streamers Hub, and that's on One Stream Live's YouTube channel. And they are a little different from Ecamm. So Ecamm is a computer-based software, and One Stream Live is a browser-based software. Both of those softwares help you stream.
Yeah.
And I kind of teach their software and teach streaming and content creation and branding and all that stuff for them on Monday night. So if you can tell from Sunday to Monday, my hands are full with streaming and producing those shows. I
Yeah.
had to kind of pull back for a season on my Thursday show, and that kind of opened me up to be able to be on other people's shows like this. And I needed to kind of give myself a little bandwidth to do that. But it's coming back. Strick City is not completely gone, but I needed a little time to be able to focus on those shows because it takes a lot to be able to put a streaming show together. And to do two of them, it takes even more work. It's double the work.
That's a lot. That's a lot,
Yeah.
Strick. So
Yeah.
when you think about how do you manage your time between all these streams? Because I know there's a lot of setup to do, and there are things that you have to do to prepare, not only beforehand, but while you're on set and then afterwards. So how do you manage your time and how do you keep up with all of those streams? That's a lot.
Tanya, it's really, really hard. It really is. And I did have to really figure it out because I would be really late with assets, really late with promotions,
Yeah.
and it wasn't helping me to be late, and it wasn't helping my audience to find me. Yes, I would do the shows, but I would tell anybody. Um, I think when we talked on when you were on my show, I said I had like 9 pieces of content
Yes.
that you would need. So now it's 10 pieces of content. I added another piece of content that you had to produce or show. Some of that is after the show, but most of it is before the show. And I really have to decide on for a Sunday show, I'm really a week in advance with the promotion. So thumbnail, YouTube description, title, the announcement being made, all of that's done a week in advance for the Monday show or the Sunday show. And Monday is done on Thursday. So today, I actually did all of the announcements that I needed to do and set the Monday show up on Thursday. Sometimes that happens on Friday.
So look, I have a question. And if anybody else has questions about this too, I want y'all to
Yeah,
pop
let me
those in
know.
the chat and let us know.
Yeah.
My question is this: How are you keeping track of this? Do you use spreadsheets? Do you use sticky notes? What are you using to know, hey, I've got this number of assets still that are left for me to create from this live? How do you know?
So, so that is a really good question. I do keep up with it very well, but I have a new software that I'm using called Project.co. And with Project.co, it is just like any other project management software that you could use. And I'm using that to kind of help me stay on top of things. But that's really new. So before that, I had to kind of figure it out. I also have a calendar system that I use called TidyCal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was another AppSumo deal that I paid for one time. And it works just like Calendly. People are more familiar with that. But basically, it's a um, portal that I can use for my guests. I can send my guest a link, and from that link, they could choose the day that they want, and it has all the instructions as a return or reply email. And unlike you, I only have like one or two reminders for people. So I have had to remind people, your day is Sunday coming up. So, yeah, but that's what I use to kind of stay. So Project.co, and it's important because it's a brand deal. I can't forget.
Yeah,
I, you know, I don't have the ability to not remember to be on, so I have
exactly.
to be there
I got to
and
pull
build
up,
the ad sets and all of that stuff.
I have to pull up this comment from John. John Lacey says, I love that TV display behind DJ Strick. Epic.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Look, Strick is, he shows off. So if you
Just a
watch his
little bit.
shows, it's a lot. If
Just
you,
just a little bit. So I'm gonna really it's gonna be really hard. So even behind me, I have another television I'm putting up behind me, so it will be two. I don't know how it's gonna look, and that's probably the reason why I hadn't put it up yet. I'm still trying to catch the vision of what I want it to look like behind me. I just really want it to be like a LED wall, but we'll see.
all right, you getting compliments in the comments here
Thank
though
you.
about it. So people are
Thank you.
loving it. I love it too. I think it's great. As
Well,
a
it's
matter of
only great because somebody put together a really great thumbnail for the show. So all I had to do is throw it up on my television.
somebody, hey.
Somebody.
I'm learning a lot. I learn from people like you. I learn from people in the ECAM community, people in a number of the different platforms and spaces that are doing live streaming on the regular. Look, I got to put this up from Dan too. He's joking a lot. Yeah, I've seen some of your jokes in the comments, but he watches you on ECAM and you are an awesome and knowledgeable guy.
Well, thank
So,
you so very much for those kind words.
yes, yes, yes. Look, DJ Strick is the real deal. He's good people. There's one thing I want to share that when I first connected with you, because one of the things I do, I don't feel like I'm that person who can just I don't know. I haven't always just reached out to people. That's something new for me, Strick, to reach out to
Gotcha.
people that I think, hey, this would make a great guest. When we connected, I don't even know exactly how we connected. I think I did reach out to you and I said, I think you should be on the show because maybe we connected through it was through JP High
Okay.
Tech. And what I just appreciated so much, because I like to do these coffee chats and kind of meet people before we do our live together so that we can feel comfortable on screen. And I felt like like we had known each other for a while. Like we just comfortably got into conversation, which that's not always possible. You're
No,
authentic and
you're
real
right.
and genuine and all of that. And I appreciate it. I just
Well,
appreciated
thank
it
you
so
for
much.
saying that. I've just learned, man, I can't be any other way, to be honest with you. Like I don't have like ulterior motives. I like to stream. I like to do what I'm doing. I mean, you mentioned something in my bio, like I am on staff at a local church here in Birmingham, New Rising Star Church. So big ups to all of my people that may be watching from there. And I live like the idea of life is to be able to walk it out in front of people. So generally, when I'm meeting people, like it is authentic, it is real. If we're talking about streaming, guess what? We're talking about streaming. If we're talking about, having better lives, we're talking about having better life. And that's really what all of my content is about. I want to help people learn uh, this craft so they could be good at it. And being good at it gives you an opportunity to monetize it. And if you monetize it and you're making money from it, that makes you happy that you've accomplished something. And
Yeah.
everybody feels good when they accomplish something. But there's
Yes.
some small nuances to this particular type work that if I can just give you one tip, that could be the key or the puzzle piece that you needed to go to the next level. And I have friends that have actually done that. And I have friends that I've been talking to for a while that, just an encouragement of I did a challenge with a friend a couple of months ago. It was in November. So all of November, we both were creating reels every day. And what happened was it allowed that person, it's kind of like going to gym. You have to get your reps in. It allowed them to understand that if I constantly do this every day, my channels, my engagement could be better.
Hmm.
And because of the type of content they were making, their engagement just has shot through the roof. And it was because we were working together. Because I just held their hand for 30 days and it was helping me as well, but I held their hand with the content they were making, which is really, really good content. And it just allowed them to be more consistent and they're shooting through the roof.
So,
And I can appreciate somebody else's success. And because this is the the arena that I'm in, this is, what we do. So if I really believe in streaming, if I really believe in putting content on YouTube that you can actually make it, the proof is in how you help other people or how you actually do this particular work.
yeah.
So teach people to be consistent. Again, it's always something different because someone can be consistent, but sometimes they could be consistently making content that's not hitting their audience.
That's right.
And if I can watch it and talk to them and say, hey, well, try this or try that, or let's focus here, and that can help them get to the next level. That's what I want to do. So it kind of goes back to the mission of the stream show is to help streamers succeed. And we say streamers because we really want to narrow down to live streamers and people that are streaming, but it's
Yeah.
content creators in a whole that I really want to help.
Well, I want to put a couple of comments on here. So, congrats on the 4.0 rollout. So, Ecamm Live did roll out 4.0 today.
Oh
That
man,
is
it's
true.
awesome too. It's
It's
awesome.
so
I've been using
awesome.
some of the features, and there's a couple features I haven't had a chance to get to, like the
Yep.
integration with the script, and that's going to be a game changer.
Hey, I'm all in. The only reason why I bought a Mac last year was for Ecamm.
That
and
was
I,
a great investment. That was a
yeah,
great investment.
and I've been on the beta for some time now, so I've got some of the things that I've been playing with. I wanted to. There was something else that was in here. Oh, thank you, Tech Troublemaker. He's like reminding everybody hit the like
Hit the
button.
like button. That's
Hit
so
that.
true. Tech Trevor the Maker. I'm glad he's hanging out with us tonight, man. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the reminder. You know, I've got to get better at asking people. That's one of the things I absolutely have to do in my lives. Let me ask you this: what brought you to this place of wanting to help people in the live stream arena? Because I know everybody has an origin story. So, how did you get here?
So it is really common, Tanya, to um, as people are doing their research on what camera to get, they're doing their research on what computer I need, how do I set up all of my lights. you actually find other content creators that you gravitate towards. I mean, if you're a content creator and you don't know who Think Media is, you're not really a content creator. If you don't know who Sean Cannell is, you're not really a content creator. Well, I ran into a gentleman by the name of Doc Rock, and I was watching his content, and he was slowly beginning to do more and more content. And for whatever reason, I resonated with him because everything, all of the videos that he was making, they were kind of like a step or two ahead of where I wanted to go. So it was
Yeah.
information for me that was on time. And as I was learning how to do all this stuff, how I want to set up my studio, he just kind of built a community. And I
Yeah.
got to be part of that community and really started to help other people in the community, just kind of with my eyes saying, hey, this looks good, that looks good, that kind of thing, just kind of helping. And I also partnered up with another guy by the name of Alicio Way, and we were in the community together just reviewing other people's content, kind of helping them out, and it
Mm-hmm.
just kind of exploded from there. And I would say this for anybody. So what I would want people to hear about my story, because in any community people come and go,
Yeah.
and a lot of times you will see this at some point. People will come to a community to just get what that community has. Oh, you got 1,000 people in this community or 20,000 people in this community. I want to get exposure in this community for me. And I think I went about it the other way, which was how could I help this community? And not
Yeah.
that I do that just with Ecamm or Let's Get Live community. I did the same thing with OneStream. So I figured, hey, I see this community with OneStream. They have a group, but they don't have any kind of content with people helping. So I went into the community and I would just help. That's all I would do. I would
Yeah.
help, throw videos up, make little posts, it's helping people. And that led to an opportunity to do a brand deal with them.
That's
So,
awesome.
say, and I hope I'm answering your question. It was
You
just
are.
really going in the community and finding ways to be helpful. Every time I learned something, I was willing to teach it to somebody else, not like in a grand, master class and tutorial, but as opportunities came and people were asking questions that I could answer, I just
Mm-hmm.
did.
And you know what? I think what you said is so important. I want to acknowledge a couple of people in here. So, Dr. Elo is in the house. It's good to see
That's
you,
what's up. That's
sir.
my guy,
He's
Dr.
saying hi
Elo.
to everybody. He said, Power Duo. Wait, let me pull that up.
That's what's up. That's
That's
what's up.
another one of my brothers. Look, I was telling DJ Strick earlier, y'all, that because of live streaming, it has changed and enhanced my own community. It's created a family for me. I have a lot more brothers than I ever had.
Cool. That's cool.
Dr. Elo, John, look, Strick,
I'm in the
JP,
number.
everybody. There's so many really amazing and incredible people. But the thing that I want to point out about what you said, this is something that I think is really key. A lot of times we see people go into communities to see what they can get. What you said is you went into this community to see how you could give. And because of that, it created the brand partnership opportunity and other things that you were able to do afterwards. I think that is so important. So I just wanted to bring that point back and emphasize that a little bit. So thank you for sharing that.
So, just to kind of piggyback on that really quick, I know you got another question. If someone has a YouTube channel, let me just give you this quick tip. You have a YouTube channel and you're trying to get subscribers and you want people to see your particular channel. Find out who is in your niche that is one of the leaders. They may have, 200, 300, even a million subscribers. What you want to do is go into those people's videos, the latest videos, and try to be like the first one or two people to comment. Make it authentic. Like watch the video and make a real comment, a like, and then comment inside of that video. And not only will they respond, but you will everybody after you is going to see that comment. A lot of people are going to see the comment. I want to say everybody would see it, but a lot of people would see it. And if you do this fairly often, you would be someone that is now visible not only to that person that you're commenting on, they would know who you are because they're seeing your comments, but also the other people that are in their audience. Same thing with a live show. Like if that person has a live show, take the time to go into the comments in that live show,
Yeah.
ask questions, make comments, and just kind of be there and be verbal. And that gives you're giving that person your time. You're engaged in what they're doing. It gives you an opportunity to be visible because
That's right.
if you ask a question and it goes up on screen, guess what? People are clicking to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
And
I
you
love
never
it.
know if you get a subscriber just off of doing that. So that's just a little tip for you.
I love it. I love the tip. And I want to hear your thoughts, speaking of tips, about the future of live streaming. Do you have any ideas or thoughts about the two things? The future of live streaming for you, like where do you see this going for you? And then just in general, are there some trends that really stand out for you, or do you see things moving in a certain direction over the next year?
So I'm gonna go back to the beginning. When I was in high school, I actually started the first production class that my high school ever had. And at that time, we were using this system called Toastmaster, and basically we were taking two VHS tapes, mixing them into one, like cutting and splicing that way. Did radio, and I always thought that my face was made for the tube. You know, I would say that all the time. I have a face made for the tube. I always want to do video. So even when I was doing radio, I was recording stuff in the studio to put up on YouTube. And I just think the future of streaming and live streaming is going to be there for everybody. If you're a service company, like I've always said this, if you're making widgets, no matter what that widget is, you have a product. In the future, you're really going to have to change the way you think about what you do because
Yeah.
every company needs to be a content marketing company that sells a product or makes a product. So that product is going to be secondary to the marketing and the content creation that you're making around it
Mm,
because radio is not there anymore. Newspaper and print is not there anymore, and television really doesn't give you the audience that you need, and it's still expensive. So how else can you get there? Social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. That's where it's all going. And in the future, yes, there's going to be some other people that make a play. There's going to be other TikToks that come on and make a real run to build audiences, right? And if you don't understand the technology, you're going to be left
left
behind.
behind. Yep.
So my future and the end goal of all this, Tanya, I don't know if you know this, but my wife and I, we have a nonprofit, and we just believe in the arts. We believe that the arts kind of help you have foundation in your life to
Mm-hmm.
be able to be in what we call common spaces with people and enjoy life and really have some culture. She's a musician, and I like broadcasting and doing streaming. So a nonprofit is gonna kind of balance the two from music, and I'll be teaching kids how to actually stream, how to make content, how to do films. We have a film camp this summer that's going
Wow.
to be here in the city, and I'm really, really excited about that.
That
So,
is
you know,
exciting.
those are things that I want to do. I'll be able to turn around and hopefully make another DJ Strick and helping people understand like the basic tools that you need to be able to get up and get going on YouTube because to be honest with you right now when it comes to high school age kids most of them want to be YouTubers. Like that is
Yeah.
a real career
That's a
that
real
they want
thing.
to have. Yeah.
That's a real thing. I thought for a minute that my one of my daughters was heading in that direction, and then she's like, "Nah."
It's work. it's
Yeah,
work.
both
So
of
that's
them.
the
They
other
said it's
thing.
too much. It's too much, mom.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. So anything that you can be successful at, that's good, that's worth it, does take a little work to do.
Yeah.
And but there are a lot of high school age kids right now that are very successful, and YouTube has made tons of millionaires. So if someone
Yes.
really has a passion for it, that really wants to do it, and I say not even passion, it has to be a passion for a kid. But if you have a business, you don't have a choice. You're gonna have to be a content creator, content marketer that is a real estate agent, a content marketer and creator that is a plumber. That's that
Yeah, that's
if you
my friend Roger Wakefield. He is,
yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah.
a plumber, but he is a master YouTuber. And he
So
talks about plumbing.
he talks about plumbing. He says, well, if people see it, they don't want to do it.
Yeah,
They call me. And that's just in his local cities. Like, so he made $1 million in his business
yeah.
doing that. He also made $1 million with YouTube.
On YouTube, he sure did.
So I have,
Yeah.
I'm down here in Birmingham, Alabama, and grass is a big thing here. Like your lawn, like how it looks is a really big thing. So not only do you have to cut the lawn, like I don't know what people do in other places, but we have to have chemicals in our lawns to, stop the weeds. And it is in some cases it's more than just going to the store and buying a bag of something and spreading it out. Like you really have to be on it, has to be treated, and there are companies based off of that in our cities. Well, I was going through YouTube because I was like, I got too many weeds, and this big company that couldn't figure out what was going on in my lawn. And I started to research that. And I actually found a guy on YouTube that was right here in my community teaching people about lawn maintenance and chemicals to use. And that's now my lawn chemical guy that
Wow.
treats my weeds, and he has over 80,000 subscribers.
That's crazy. And it's
Okay,
about
he
lawns.
he got it. He's just about chemical treatment. He doesn't
Yeah.
cut grass. He just comes and treats it.
But it's
That
such a niche market, right? It's a niche that he's found and he just dove in and started creating videos about that, which is super smart. Very smart.
and
I
is
want
my
to give
example.
people an opportunity. If you're in the comments, because I still see a lot of you here, ask questions. If you have any questions, you
Yeah,
have wisdom on this call, you're there.
yeah.
Wisdom on this call, definitely ask some questions and let's get DJ Strick to weigh in before we have to let him go on to his next thing because he's a busy man, as he shared with us earlier, with all these streaming shows. So definitely. Okay, look, John said in a previous life, I had to write a lot of articles about lawn turf.
So you understand. So I had this big box, chemical company that couldn't figure out a basic fungus that was in my yard. So I had to let them go, and that sent me to research and stuff.
Wow. And YouTube, you can really find out anything. I mean,
Really
seriously,
can.
that's the way I fix everything around the house when hubby is overseas, is I look on YouTube and figure it out. So that's awesome. Future for you. You talked about the future in general. So for you, you also talked about what you and your wife are doing, which I think is amazing because the next generation, we don't focus enough on them. We focus a lot on ourselves and where we are in the present moment. But the fact that you're talking about raising that next generation up and helping them to see the power of content marketing, that is incredible. That's some good stuff. And I have a question that's coming up. Sir DJ, how,
That's cool.
suc- how successful are live music channels doing on YouTube, in your opinion?
So it depends on, so it's tough when we're talking about live music because of copyrights deals. So if you're able to produce music that can't be stricken with any kind of copyright claims, you're really doing something. I think live shows with music would really work. You just can't do any covers, so it has to be all original music. Um, right now. YouTube has their own library of music that people could use, and some of it's good, some of it's bad. But but I always thought like doing a show reviewing some of that music would be really, really cool. And they are expanding it to now be able to use other people's music. You would just have to pay for it, as far as like some of the popular songs and all of that.
And I
So
think
I
Yvette
think,
actually creates her own music, if I'm right. Yvette, speak up and let us know. Don't you create original music that you play? I think you do. If she's doing that, how would that do, you think?
what I would say is, depending on how often she wants to be on, maybe a night or two, or at least no less than once a week, saying, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be on at 7 o'clock on Friday nights, and I'm gonna do a live set for you." Listen, that's like being anywhere in the world, and people can now come to your particular club and you play. I think that's huge. We talked about Tanya. We talked about this earlier. People confuse the numbers.
Yeah.
All right. So they think they've seen someone on YouTube that has 1 million subscribers and like, well, how can I get 1 million subscribers? And the quickest way to get to 1 million subscribers is starting with one.
Yep.
Like the importance of being able to grow an audience from 1 to 5 to 10. Think about your everyday, let's just say your weekly communication. Like, do you even talk to 10 people in a week's time? Most of us, I
Yeah.
don't talk to 10 people in a week's time. Not like casual, having a casual conversation. I don't have 10 friends. So if you're able to garner a audience on a stream with 10 people, that's a really big deal. So if you could then take that 10 people and start multiplying it, and more people come, you know how they come? They come because they can trust that you will be there.
Yep. You show
That if
up.
you say you're going to be there on Friday night at 7 p.m., you show up. And you don't just show up for a year, you show up for 2 years playing. You
That's
show up
right.
for 3, 4, 5 years playing. And then you tell me what kind of audience you have. Like the expectation of all of the big YouTubers we see right now, we're talking 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 years doing YouTube.
Yep.
There are very few people that's been doing YouTube for 2 years and have 1 million subscribers. Now,
Yeah.
they may have 30, 40,000 subscribers. They may have really hit a particular wave and they moved. The pandemic wave helped a lot of people out. But I would say do it. Do it once a week. If it's your original music, find ways to monetize it. Put you up a donate button. Have people to
Yep.
subscribe so you can make a little bit out of it. I'm talking about once you get to a certain level, you do have an opportunity for paid subscribers and super stickers and all the other kind of stuff. All
Mm-hmm.
they want to know is, can we rely on you to be there Friday night at 7 o'clock and know that, hey, when I'm having a tough time, I can come to this show and feel better because you're playing live music.
I'm going to go to
I hope
another
that helps.
question. I think
Sure.
that that does help. She talked about covers, but I know you also mentioned something in regards to covers and being careful there.
Hmm.
Um, John says, you have a radio and TV background. Let me pull that back up again. But do you have advice about becoming a better presenter? Like, how do you find yourself presenting better on film or on TV?
That
Live
is a
stream.
really good question. That is a really, really good question. So, yes, I do have an absolute head start on most people because of my radio experience and some small television experience. And the only way you get better is with repetition. That is the only way you get better. You want to be a better editor, you have to edit. You want to be a better speaker, you're going to have to speak. You're going to want to be a better anything. It's the same thing I tell my youngest son. He wants to play basketball. Listen, you got to have the basketball in your hand. So my advice is, number one, find people that are teaching in that space. Like, you want to know all of the rules. Okay, you want to know all of the rules. So, John, right now, this is something that I do. Right now, I don't have a teleprompter up. I have one in here. My camera's not in it right now. I am looking at a camera lens. But if I didn't tell you that, you would think I'm looking at you. There are small techniques that you could learn by finding people that teach these techniques, and you go with one or two different rules that you want to work on, and you just do it. Your first video that you're gonna do is not gonna be good. Okay. I'm a
Yeah.
professional at some of this, and I have some terrible videos out there. You just keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You organize what you're doing. You kind of know going in ahead of time. I'm going to do my intro. I got a countdown intro. I have these questions. This is how I'm going to do it. So, there's small things that you can kind of learn, be organized. So it reduces a little bit of anxiety because you know where you're going, and just do the best you can with what you have. And as
Hmm.
you lift the weights and make the reps of doing it over and over again, guess what? You look back and it's like, man, I was terrible when I got started, but I'm pretty good now. So my thing is just put the reps in. It
Yeah.
is a skill that can be learned. Okay. Now I tell people all the time, you learn the rules so that you know when you break the rules, you know the rules that you're breaking. Because I
True.
always believed in breaking rules.
Or breaking rules.
I
So,
just
John,
believe in breaking
look, John
rules.
actually teaches learning how to live stream too.
That's
So I know,
awesome.
yeah, so he's definitely out there doing it. So kudos to you, John, to continue. Kudos to you, Yvette, to continue with your music. Look, there's so many people here that I'm seeing in the feed. Dan, I always have your back. So keep doing what you're doing. There's so many people that are showing up.
That's
What is
cool.
it? What should you do when you still feel like no matter how much you show up, you're not getting to where you feel like you should be? Do you have any tips or advice on that you can give?
Sometimes, sometimes you do have to look at the analytics. You do have to look at the numbers. Sometimes you have to, figure out what your audience is saying. I will tell you this. Um, it is not your show. It's the audience show. So
Mm,
sometimes based off of the direction that you have to kind of figure out my audience like this kind of content. Maybe I should be doing this.
yeah.
Let me do more of that. I would call it doubling down on whatever may have hit for you. So if something hit, let me see if I can do this again and will it work for me? That is
Yeah.
what I would say to people. Like really find, look at the numbers, see how fast people drop. Like look at YouTube and see, man, the first 5 minutes was great. Minute number 7, everybody left. What was I doing in
They're
minute
like,
number
pew.
7 that made
Yep.
everybody leave? And you really do kind of want to match this is what I want to tell people. If you have something that you really, really love, all right, that you can do regardless of an audience. Like this is something I want to talk about regardless of an audience. And then if that same thing, you're really skilled at it, you really know what you're talking about. And then the third thing, if it meets the needs of an audience, like
Yeah.
are you helping somebody with the information you're bringing? And if you can, like, if those things were three different circles, right there in the center where they all overlap is where a great niche is. And you have to find that niche that is meeting a need, you're skilled at, and you love to do because you can
Love
do
that.
that without an audience and it's going to take some time to build an audience, but if you continue to do it, you're good at it and you're helping people. There's some small nuances that I mentioned earlier about going into other people's comments and being visible and getting into a community and serving that community. It will put a spotlight on you as being someone that is a part of a community. People want to know who you are. You do have to do some of that. But the biggest thing is finding the right niche for you, something that you could do but forever. No need to go to TikTok dancing because if it goes viral, all you're gonna have to do now is dance. Like we don't want to. hear you talk about cameras. We want to see you dance.
Yep.
So do the things that you could do regardless of an audience. You're skilled at, but you're serving some people, and that could really help.
That is perfect advice. In year 2 of me doing live Strick, I realized, okay, it's time for me to take a look at. Now, mind you, I had to do that year first. Like I had to build up
Right.
some content to be able to see any type of metrics. Like when are
Right.
people dropping off? Are people enjoying this particular type of content? And you will have to experiment a bit and test drive your approach and the way you do things and maybe the style of your videos. All of those things are tests because then at the end of that year, in year 2, I was able to go back and look at the information that I saw. And you may be able to look at it sooner, but this is
Hmm.
what it was for me. I could then see, okay, this is the type of content that is catching attention. This is what's catching fire. This is what I need to
Right.
do more of. So I think that was perfect advice. And I think sometimes people get discouraged because they just see month 3, right? And it's still nobody here. Or they see month 6, man, it's just only a few numbers. But by year 2, you start, you keep tweaking and correcting and making different changes based on the feedback you're getting. And you start getting into a groove and you see more consistency and you see more information that you can use to make better decisions. So
I
thank
had
you for
one
saying that.
show I was doing for Ecamm, and I'm still having to double down on this show. It's talking about using Ecamm as a course creator, like showing people how they could use
Ah,
it to build courses. And it's perfect for where you are because I
that's
know you're
good.
gonna build a course, right? And I did this with with a guy named Alec Johnson. Big shouts out to him. And that show right now is still getting tons and tons of views, over 14,000 views. Like, I don't know, 20x any other video. So I'm going along about the same amount of views. And then this show kind of skyrockets and it allows all the other shows to get more visibility. Just never know. Just
Yeah.
never know. What you want to do is be consistent, find a good niche for you and keep it going, because when you go viral, like when that goes viral, guess what? I'm still doing interview style type of content. So who else is this guy talking to? What else is he talking about? And people just go through the playlist
Yep.
and look at all the stuff. So I hope that encourages somebody.
I love it. I love it. If you love what you're hearing, if you've gotten any type of golden nuggets tonight, I want you to put a fire emoji in the chat. We want to hear from you. Look, it's been wonderful. I know I've kept you probably a little longer than I thought I would.
Time is just flying by.
Because it's great information and you do have such a depth of knowledge and experience and you're so generous with your information, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you for being honest with people and telling them here's what it really takes, because sometimes people hold back a little bit, but on
Oh,
this
I get it.
show, yeah, I haven't had anybody in the chair in this show that has held back, and you are no different. You're not holding back, and I appreciate that. I'm seeing the fire. Scott,
Thank
thank
you. Thank you for
you.
saying that.
Fire, fire, fire. Yes. Love it. So, all of this has been excellent information. I know you've helped so many people just in the time that we've been together. Thank you, John. More fire coming through the chat. Thank you, y'all. I want to know, I want people to know how to find you. So, I'm getting ready to switch on over to your Instagram and to your website, DJ Strick, so that they know how
Cool.
to get in touch. So,
S-
tell them about
You
how to
got it.
find you.
So I spend a lot of time on Instagram. I'm trying to build my Instagram channel. So whether it is a message to me, or following me, I'll definitely follow back. And it's at Strick City. That's how you can get me. I have tons of reels. So if you want to see some funny stuff, you want to hear about content creation, you can barely see this guy in my last video, but his name is Tim Smoyer.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this guy is a complete inspiration to me. He is a new partner with vidIQ. And basically, he sold his company to vidIQ, and he's helping them on the back end build their coaching services for content creators. So he's got a really big deal. He is a really big deal, but
Yeah,
I had an opportunity to interview him once, and he dropped some jewels on me, and I just was sharing some of that in a reel.
I love it. So Instagram, y'all, Instagram at Strick City. And
Right?
also strickcity.com, I believe, is where they can find you. Look at that smooth
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah, yeah,
Smooth right
yeah.
there.
He wanted to be debonair with that picture. Check him out.
I love it. I was trying to scroll up. Let me see. There's some more right there. There you are. About me. So
Yeah,
you
that's
can learn more about him at strickcity.com. There's more information there. Sign up for his newsletter. There's info on the stream show. What else? Where else do people need to find you, sir?
so. Of course, you can see me Sunday nights, Ecamm Live's YouTube channel. Monday night, One Stream Live's YouTube channel.
Yep.
Again, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot as well, and podcasters out there. The stream show, you guys can find that right now is on Anchor and Spotify, and we're just trying to grow that list right now.
I love
I
it.
do a lot. So if you scroll through all of that, you'll see like Block Party Radio, which is my wife's radio show I produce. You'll see the Porch Sitting Podcast, which is another podcast I do more about connecting people. And I get a chance to talk to some really cool people about life and diversity of life and all that other kind of stuff.
Wow, you are doing
Yeah.
amazing things. Look, it's been exciting to have you on the show. Thank you for
Thank
having me
you.
on yours as well, because we just
We had
have
to
that.
cross pollinate a little
Yeah,
bit. Like you get a chance to be introduced to my audience and what's going on over there at Ecamm, and I had a chance to kind of hang out with you. I think as a content creator, guys, open the doors to whatever audience you have to other content creators. That's just my mode of operation. That's how I
yep,
like to do it.
me
But
too.
I like to be helpful because some people got a chance to see Tanya in who she is in her light and her talking about stream like a boss, and that resonated with them. And that's new audience members that you could have that
That's
people
right.
just may not have ever known of who you are and what just because of their exposure. So I think that's important. And you have audience members here that didn't know DJ Strick, so having an opportunity to be here and to be exposed to people, and hopefully they can learn a little something from my story that may encourage them to do more.
I think so. I definitely think so. I see more fire in the chat. So absolutely. Thank you so much again. I'm going to wish you a good night now, but know that you're going to be invited back on the show.
I
I'm
have to
thinking
come back.
you got to come back because I'm thinking about doing some panels in the very near future. And I know that there have been some just incredible people. India Delgado.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toy Sweeney is coming up. Gosh, there's just, I get to talk with somebody. I won't say his name tomorrow, who you also know, but
Okay.
I think it would be nice to have you all on the stage at the same time, talking that
Listen,
wisdom.
I don't know who the person is, but you have to be careful with me because we can get going and having a great time. It could be 2 or 3 hours later, and we're still talking about creating content because we just really love doing it. So be careful. Be careful.
I'm not going to be careful. I love that because we can always edit it later
Exactly.
and make it into small clips. That's the thing now, right?
That is the thing.
All right. Everybody, please wish him a good night. Thank you so much again, DJ Strick. And make
Thank
sure
you.
you
Thank
go
you.
and follow him at Strick City. I love it. And I'm sorry. Yeah, John mentioned that some of his chat messages are not getting through. But he's okay. I got this one, John. Thanks, Tanya and DJ Strick. I can see that one.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate you so much. And everybody, be sure you go and check out his website again at Strick City and follow on Instagram. I know a lot of people are on Instagram. Just recently there was something that popped up. I'll mention this in a second. There was something that popped up about the fact that Instagram is looking at potentially balancing more photos again with videos. So if you need that information, let me know. Yvette says she's following you, DJ Strick. So awesome. And I know there will be other follows as well. Before we go, I just want to mention that letsgolivechallenge.com is where you need to go if you want to sign up to be a part of our 7-day challenge that is starting this Sunday. So Friday night, tomorrow night at midnight, we close the doors to this January cohort. Really excited about the people that are in there that are going to be learning my 7-step process for going live. It's super simple, but it's also fun, it's intimate, and it's a way for you to really get your toe in the water and get over the anxiety of putting your face on camera. So I encourage you to definitely be a part of that this time. And otherwise, I just want to make sure that you know that I'm here for you each and every week. So come back and like, follow, and subscribe. Make sure you get connected wherever you're watching from now, whatever your favorite platforms may be. And we will see you next week in the stream.